Good morning. I'm just trying to get everything together. Hope y'all are having a blessed morning. Welcome to our page, Pinky Mouse Cakes, Cookies, and Candy. And I'll be frosting the coconut cake that I made yesterday. I don't know why that's got that custom on there again. Good morning, Diane Sprawling. I hope that you are having a blessed morning. And I know this is earlier than what our normal time is, but I have so much to do today. I needed to get started and get this done because maybe some other things that I need to do. And the first part of the day is when I feel the best. So I have to start my morning off early. When Linda and I are cooking together, I'm going to her house or she's coming over here. So it's just a little bit different when we're cooking together. But since I'm by myself today and Linda's at home, I'm sure she's watching and Carla's monitoring too. So thank y'all so much. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it like it is. I don't do anything to that camera, but it's still showing like it did the other day. But I'm going to just keep going. Good morning, Anita. Wilma. I got to get this pineapple filling made so it can cool. So I have got, let me put it, 1 can of, this is dough, but it's crushed pineapple. I've got it here in my boiler. I have got a 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I'm putting this in with the pineapple. And that's to thicken the pineapple up. And put it in there, that cornstarch and sugar, mix it together and put it in your pineapple cold. And then start cooking it. And it'll start thickening up. And even after it starts thickening, I cook it a little bit longer because the longer you cook it, the thicker it gets. So I'm going to throw this in the trash. But anyway, it makes a delicious pineapple filling to go in between the layers of the coconut cake. And so it just takes a few minutes. You can't, once this starts boiling, I have to turn this down because it will, I don't want it to cook too fast. I want that cornstarch to cook in there. So I'm going to turn my burner down a little bit. Let me see if I can turn the camera. So you can see it's starting to get thick, but I'm gonna cook it. It's still, you don't want to undercook it because this pineapple, if it's not thick enough, it will slide off of your cake. And another reason you have to cool it is to keep it from sliding off. So this has to be completely cool before you put it on the cake. What I do is I put it in a container and put it in the freezer. It cools faster. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the egg whites. I've got 5 egg whites. That's what I use to dress a 3-layer cake. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so it's a little bit further away from the mic while I'm cooking this pineapple. So, you know, that mixer is so loud until I thought I'd go ahead and start it. I put a fourth a teaspoon of cream of tartar. A 1/4 a teaspoon of cream of tartar in my 5 egg whites. And I'm going to let them cook a little bit, mix a little bit while I'm stirring this. I'm making a simple, not a simple syrup. I'm making a syrup to go in the egg whites, but I also add a 1/2 a cup of sugar in my egg whites. So I went ahead and added, you beat your egg whites until it's to their kind of getting thick, not completely thick, before you add your 1/2 cup of sugar. and then put your half a cup of sugar in there and let it beat a few minutes. I'm putting more sugar than that in it, but it's in the syrup that I put in there. So we turn the camera back over here. Haven't got thick enough yet. I turned the burner down. I think I'm going to turn it back up. Now I will be adding 2 tablespoons of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla in with my pineapple filling, but I do that after I remove it from the stove. Good morning, Gina, Karen, Kathy. I've been up quite a while this morning, but I've already frosted 1 coconut cake because I had 2 to do. So I went ahead and iced 1. I didn't want to have to do 2. They're just alike on camera. And after I finish, I'll show it to you. But I want this pineapple to cook a little bit longer. I'm gonna let that see while I'm getting that. Thank you, Brenda. You're so sweet. It's getting close. I went to the church last night, and they had most of it done before I got there. Our church is all excited. We always do get excited about the church, about our food bazaar. Good morning, Sue Jones, Brenda Clark, and the coconut cake. Yes, they are delicious. I'm gonna go. I'm going to turn that off. Give ourselves a rest a minute. I'll finish beating it in a few minutes. But okay, let me show you how this is getting. See? See how it's getting thick? I just cook it a little bit longer. I want all that juice to... I use a whole 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple per cake. I use almost a whole package of Baker's coconut on the cake too. Actually, it's more than that if you count what you put on inside. Well, no, that was the same bag that I frosted this morning from what I had used inside the cake. I did open another one and use a little bit more, so it tastes a little more than a bag. Now, you don't have to put that much coconut on it. And sometimes I don't even put coconut in the batter. Sometimes I don't. So that's just your preference, how much coconut you want. Matthew, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you. Good morning, Barbara from Gothard, Texas. You gonna make that rice and broccoli for Thanksgiving? I'm gonna make broccoli and rice for Thanksgiving too. My grandkids love that broccoli and rice casserole, so I'll be making that, and I'm gonna be making a mac and cheese and probably some kind of candied yams dressing. And I hadn't decided whether I'm gonna have ham or turkey. We don't need both because there's not that many of us eating. Okay, I think this is, you can see when it starts, oh, let me show you. When it starts sticking to the sides and the bottom, it's time to take it off the burner. So I'll take it off. I'm going to take it off, and now I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in it. And I'm putting a teaspoon of pineapple extract in this. And, woo! Okay. It really is pineapple. Really tastes like pineapple. Okay. So I'm going to stir that in there till that butter melts. Then I'm going to put it in a bowl and put it in the freezer. I'm going to let that butter. I should have chopped that butter into 1 tablespoon and it would melt it faster, but I'm just going to stir it around till that butter melts. I don't want to put it back on the stove. Okay. I'm going to make room. I forgot to make room in the freezer for the, I have to rearrange the freezer a little bit to put this in there. But it's just about melted. It doesn't take long for that butter to melt. And don't worry about it. When you put that butter in there, it's going to thin it up a little bit, but it thickens right back whenever it gets cold. I just want that butter to melt. When I put it in that cold freezer, I don't want it to be any butter. I believe I got the butter stack. And you, whatever container bowl you have, it's fine to put this in here, but I use a thin one so the pie filling is not thick, you know, so it'll cool faster. Let's see. All right, so I'm putting it in here. It'll cool. It'll be cool by the time I get ready for it. You know, you learn all kind of tricks when we make pie filling. This is similar to the pie filling that we make for the fried pies. Okay, I'm gonna put that in my bowl that I did my thickening in. At least I think I am. Now I'm gonna put this in my freezer to get cool while I do the syrup. Okay. Now, I'm going to move the camera back a little bit. I'm going to turn this burner on. And I'm going to be making the syrup that goes in my frosting. So, let me get, I put a 1/3 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. And 2 tablespoons of Karo or corn syrup. 2 tablespoons. And this is how you make 7-minute frosting. And like I said, it takes more than 7 minutes. All right. Get all that off of that spatula. And then I'll get a different spoon. I'll set that aside. And get me a bigger spoon. Okay, good morning, Cindy. And then I'm gonna stir this. Now this, I constantly stir. And once, you can scrape the sides of your bowl, but once this starts crystallizing, don't scrape the sides because if that dry sugar, it won't dissolve after it's been cooking for a while. So you don't want that, you don't want it mixed in with your syrup. Okay. I'm gonna get my mixer started again. Because when this syrup gets done, I'm gonna put this hot syrup in my egg whites that have already foamed up and gotten thick. That has to happen before you put this syrup in there. But this is how I make 7-minute frosting. Some people put the egg whites that you beat, they put it over hot water and beat it while the water is cooking it. But I don't do that. I make it like this. This is the way my Aunt Elsie, Aunt Laverne, Aunt Faye, Mama, this is how we always made it. But it has to It has to get thick, and but you don't want it too thick or it'll be candy. I think it's 265. I don't use a thermometer. I just take the spoon and let it drip, and when it makes a little curvy stream like, then it's ready. You don't want to cook it till it gets thick. It puts a stream instantly. It takes a few seconds, because when it gets cold is whenever it forms a stream. I'm happy to say they tried to do this 7-minute frosting, and they just couldn't do it. I'm using the egg whites that I bought in a carton, and I remember the last time I used them, I really wasn't that fond of them, and I'm really not. I'm still not, but I'm using it today. I'm just hoping, praying that it will work. But that to me, I don't know if it's something I'm doing or what, but to me, they don't foam up and beat as stiff as what whenever I crack an egg. I'm gonna whip them a little bit more. Maybe they'll foam up. They just don't foam up as big, is what to me. I'm gonna get it up. All right. I'm gonna turn that up a little bit. Once this starts getting hot, it doesn't take long. I think the trick to that box egg whites is you have to beat them longer, because that's getting thicker than the ones I did this morning. So hopefully that's what it was. You know me, I get a little impatient sometimes. I hope that noise is not too loud. Y'all can't hear me. You made some fresh pineapple? Your mama did? Oh. I don't know what Linda was talking about. Somebody must have asked a question I didn't see. Oh yeah, the shipping of the church. I did talk to the lady that's going to be taking care of the shipping. Let me, I'm going to turn that off. And the lady is going to the post office today and take 3 books, in case y'all want 3, because they're 3 for $20. In case that y'all want 3, she's finding out what the postage will be, and postage has changed from the last time. I do know that the lady that does this, she just doesn't want to do it any other way but priority. She might find out that it's going to cost too much, because last year it was $11 a book. Our church cookbooks are very, very cheap. I mean, we're selling them really at a good price. They're $10 a piece, or 3 for $20. But it's the shipping that's going to get you. We only charge $6 for shipping per book, and $10 for 2. So it's going to cost you more than the $10 for the shipping. And how you go online to order, it's just little letters, and I will post this. I'll post this one time, probably in the after a while, after I finish this video. It's FTC, that's First Pentecostal Church, Kilgore.org. So that's FPC KILGORE.org. I'll post that on our page so you can read it, so you can see. And then you just go in there and fill out your name, and then you select. There's those 3 little dots up there at the top of the website. You hit that, and then you go select Ladies Ministry, and then it'll be some notes, and you'll put in the notes you will put cookbooks and how many you want, and then it'll be how much, and you put how much money. It's kind of like it's set up. I better watch this. it's kind of set up like you're giving, but because I think that's one of the things you select that you're giving, but it's ladies ministry, and then in notes you write cookbooks, and then the amount that you're paying for the cookbooks plus shipping. So this is boiling now. So I will go live in the morning before the doors are open. I won't go live after the doors are open. I will go live and just go around and show you what we have. We have some gift baskets, just some gifts we don't normally have. A lady donated them, and she donated a lot of them. So we'll have and I think there's some. I seen it, but I didn't read what it was. I think it was some canned jelly that a lady had canned. I'm just stirring this, and see, it hadn't got thick yet because it hadn't started dripping. Doing these coconut cakes, they're not no quick thing. That's why I separated the cooking the cake with doing the frosting, because the frosting takes as long as the baking the cake does. But it's getting close. If you don't get this at the right stage, it'll make your icing runny. It won't dissolve in your egg whites. So I don't use a thermometer, so I guess I've just done this so many times. I have made some mistakes before too, though. Almost. I'll show you what I'm talking about when it streams. I'll get a little closer so y'all can see. See how it's boiling? All right, and watch that spoon when it drips. See, it's almost creating a little thread. I think that's what Amy Elsa used to call it, a thread. But the thread will linger on there for a few minutes. You know, it's almost there. I think that's it. I'm not going to cook it any longer. It's stringing. Now I'm going to take the camera over here so y'all can see me. I'm going to put it in the frosting. See, I've already, let's see here. There we go. All right, that's the frosting. I've already got the egg whites beat. And the egg whites, 5 egg whites, I put a half a teaspoon, was it a half a teaspoon? Yeah, of cream of tartar. And I have not put any flavor in it yet, but I'm fixing to. I'm going to put a teaspoon. That's a half a teaspoon. This is clear flavoring. This is a half a teaspoon, so I'm going to put another half a teaspoon. It's a teaspoon is what you need to put in there. And I have put 1/2 a cup of sugar while the eggs were beating. Not when you first start to beat the eggs. I beat them a while before I add the sugar. Okay. Ole. Oh, I hope I didn't mess up. While I was talking, I turned the burner off. No, you see the stream now? Okay, now I'm fixing to pour this in here while it's mixing. I got to change hands. But while the mixer is going, stop that and scrape the sides. Well, I'm not scraping the sides if it's already dried. And some of it has, so I didn't scrape all the side. All right. I'm gonna turn it on for another few minutes while I get this ready. I'm gonna clean this off and get ready to bring my cake over. Okay, let me get my beater off. Where's my little hook? Oh, there it is. Going the wrong way. Now, let me get this off. See? I'm fixing to move. I'm gonna move that mixer so I'll have room to do my cake. Okay. See? That's my frosting. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring my cake over here. Let me move the camera where y'all can see. Mary, what if you don't like pineapple? If you don't like pineapple, don't put the pineapple filling in it. Just put this frosting between the layers. You don't have to have pineapple if you don't want to. Just make a coconut cake and leave the pineapple filling out. That's not a problem at all. Okay, so this is my, I'll show you another trick I do. I take a piece of tape and fold it. Some people, I think Linda does too, she puts a little frosting on here to make it stick. I put a little piece of tape and I just center this on my, this is our to-go containers that we, and I center it best I can. And this cake, and then that way it won't slide around on the thing. And there goes my clock. This is parchment paper, and what I do with this is I put it around the edges, because when you start ricing the coconut on here, it gets all in those little edges. So I just pick up the edge. You know, I'm all thumbs this morning. I was so tired last night. Oh my goodness, I was tired. I was really tired. Okay. I normally put 3 pieces, but I dropped that other piece on the floor, and I'm not going to pick it up. I'll just make another piece. Well, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. I have so many things in that cabinet. I'll just get another piece. And put it around here, because it does, the coconut kind of makes a mess. And you don't have to do this. I mean, I'm doing this because I'm taping it somewhere. If it was here at the house, I wouldn't be that particular. Okay? All right. So I just got it all the way around so that when I put that coconut on there, it won't get down in the grooves where the lid fits. So here's my cakes. I got them wrapped up. These are the coconut cakes that I made yesterday. And I got them wrapped up good. I guess I should unwrap these before got on camera because that saran wrap sticks good. And I put several pieces on there. But I'll get it off. I'm just a little bit slower probably than some of you might be. The first layer I put on the bottom. I put the bottom on top. And I just try to get it as centered as possible. All right. Now let's see. I'm going to check my pineapple. I'm going to stir my pineapple around and see if it's cool enough. I don't think it is. And if it's not, I'm going to start that other. It's not hot. It's not hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there. It's not hot. And like I said, you could just put that frosting on here now if you wanted to. A lot of times I have put pineapple between 2 layers and the frosting on the third, between the third layer. So it wouldn't be so much pineapple. But it's your preference. And if you don't want pineapple, don't do it. But if you're going to put pineapple between both layers, then just half of what you made. I don't go all the way to the edge because when you put that other layer on here, it kind of spreads it out a little bit. I got a little bit on the, dropped a little bit. I think that's about half of it. And then I unwrap the other layer. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put a little frosting around the edges because it's just easier for me. Now, sometimes I get a little crumbs in my frosting. I don't like that, but I think I must have this turntable is supposed to turn, but I think I've got it unlocked and I forgot to unlock it. It's okay. You could do this. Yeah, I did. I forgot to unlock it. It's all right. I'll go over it again, but I just wanted to, that seemed like it's hard. It's harder. It's not hard, but it's a little more difficult to get to that bottom layer. All right. Now I'll put this other layer on there. I'll tell you, this is these cakes are really moist and got a good flavor taste to them. And if you don't like pineapple, just don't put pineapple in it. If you don't like coconut, just make it a yellow cake. You know, you make anything we cook or anybody, there's always ways. Now this one here, I left it on the rack, the cooling rack. I had turned it upside down on the top edge, so whenever I tried to use my cake thing to get it off, I kind of messed up the top of it a little bit. But it doesn't bother the cake. Doesn't affect the cake. All right. Now I'm gonna put the rest of the pineapple on it. If your pineapple is too hot, it will ooze out between these layers, so you don't want this is not as cold as that first one I did this morning, but it's not hot, so. Just put it all on here. And if you don't want all of it on there, then just don't put it all on there, you know. But I don't need to be eating it, so. And it would be good to eat. This is, that recipe is what we use for our fried pies, too. For pineapple ones. Okay. Alrighty. Sure it's even. Okay. Put our other cake on there. When you're freezing your cakes, I didn't freeze these, but when you're freezing your cakes and after you wrap them up, don't stack them in the freezer. Freeze them separate. Then after they get frozen, you can stack them. But if you try to stack them while they're still warm or in their wrapper before they freeze, it'll mash them. So you don't want to do that. You want to freeze them separate and then stack them. I told y'all, I wrap these things good. I didn't want no odor to get in them. It's a big cake. I'll tell you, the lid won't even fit down on this. I started just stop at 2 layers because after I made that one this morning and realized that the lid won't even go down on it. But anyway. Okay, now get this out of the way. Trying to see, make sure that thing is level. This is a big cake. And this frosting is thick, so it's doing better than the one I did this morning. It worked, but see, this is what I'm talking about. I put a little on this, and then I'll take that and go down the edges. It's a big cake. I tell you, I can just bet. I can tell you now that pineapple was not cold enough because it's trying to come out. Oh well, it all tastes the same, but I don't like it when it does that. Just trying to rush on TV, on camera, trying to get that pineapple in there. Some of it kind of come out the sides. Just icing a cake. Let me turn this phone off. Somehow or another, I hope that's not gonna slide, because that pineapple, it wasn't hot, but it wasn't cold. So you know, I like to get in a hurry, and sometimes you just can't get in a hurry with. Let me move that over so y'all can see. And y'all probably done figured out I'm talking to myself. Oh, Lordy. There's a little bit of crumbs there. I'll just icing over it. It's a big cake, isn't it? And then I gotta put coconut on top of it. And if you don't want this much frosting on it, you know, you could not do 5 eggs, and you could also use it for some cupcakes or something. I thought I might make some cupcakes later, but I'm not going to do it on camera because I've got a lot of things to do before I decide whether I'm going to do any more baking or not. Okay, I think that's about all I'm going to put on here because I got to put the coconut on it. All right. I believe it's about as... I just want to make sure I got enough frosted on the edges. Okay. All right. Now I'll start my coconut. All right. I just hope that ain't tilted. Let me turn this thing around and make sure I got enough. I think I did. Okay. I take my baker's coconut and I put it in a paper plate so I can work it around, so I can put the coconut, sprinkle it. And some people don't put much coconut on top. I do. I cover this thing in coconut. So now I just take my hand and just do it like this, and I washed my hands before I started, and I disinfected my counter and everything. So it's clean. I can't do this part with gloves on. I would, but I can't because the gloves, I just can't manage it. But you see what a mess you make around the edges? That's why I wanted that paper on there. And how much coconut you put on it is strictly up to you. But like I said, I usually put a lot. So I just dab it around the... one time we was at my granddaughter's house for, I don't know if it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, and I made a Italian cream cake, and I did pecans, little fine pieces of pecans on all around the edges. And when I got through, Miranda, she said, "Memo, how do you get those pecans on those edges?" I said, "Well, I just pat them on there." And that's kind of what I do with this coconut. Now I'm going to go around and try to get some of that that's on the edges. And turn it around. can get the rest of it. One of our viewers, Kathleen, sent me this cake stand, and it rotates, but it also locks, and I forgot to unlock it when I started. So it's not really rotating for me. But that's how it goes. And you just kind of lightly pack that coconut, pat that coconut into your frosting, and it sticks better. That's how you get it to stay on there. All right, I think I have to go around it and see if I think I've got enough on it. It's a little bit right there. I cover it with coconut. Okay, I'm thinking. All right, now I'm going to go just pat it around, and then I'm going to take that paper out. I'm going to wash my hands just a minute so I get a fresh start. I don't want a lot of coconut on my hands when I start to do the final touches. I'm going to put this coconut on this plate. All right, now I'm just going to slide this paper off. All right, now, it's a little bit got on it right there, but that is the cake now. Let's see here. I've got a lid to it somewhere. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. And this is the cake. And I got these lids, and see, it don't, they snap in these grooves, but it's taller than the plate. So I'm not going to mash it down until tomorrow, because what it does, it just flattens the top, which is okay. But if I just put 2 layers, that wouldn't have happened. I could have actually made 3 cakes, doing 2-layer cakes, but I like a tall cake. So that's the coconut cake. Let me get this out of the way, clean my cabinet off, and I'll do that frosting for that, which is not, it doesn't take long to do that glaze for that other cake. I'll do it right quick so y'all can see what I do with the poppy seed cake. Get all this off. This is, you know, I haven't been taking pictures of my food because I forget. I'm going to try not to forget. But that's 2. That's the 2 coconut cakes. They both just alike. So I'm going to move them out of my way. And I'm going to get the stuff out for the poppy seed cake. Let's see here. I got orange juice in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. This is orange juice. That poppy seed cake has a glaze. It's got orange juice in it. Let me wipe my cabinet off again. It just, that coconut just falls until it sticks good. Okay. These are the ingredients. This is my cake. Put it all over here so I would have it all together. This cake is a little bit smaller than that big one. And this round is actually smaller than what this cake is. And I went last night to see if I could find a 9-inch, and they didn't have them. So I'm just going to use 8-inch, but I need to take that down. Just going to tape it down. I don't want it sliding because these cake rounds will slide and your cake could just go everywhere. So I take that thing down. My hands was wet. I'm about to get another piece of tape. Dry my hands off. Another thing, when you buy these cake rounds, don't get the cardboard ones. Get these that's plastic, that's got the coating on it, because the paper ones, the cardboard ones, the moisture and the flavor and the frosting will go right through that cardboard, and it really, I don't think it affects the taste, but it doesn't look good to me because it soaks in that cardboard. This is plastic with the coating on it, and it won't do that. It won't, your cake won't leak into the cardboard. This is a poppy seed cake. Okay, now let me get a bowl. I'm going to put 1/4 cup of orange juice, and this is pulp free. I guess I'm going to get, it's just a glaze. I hadn't opened it yet. There it is. It's just a little simple glaze. I wasn't thinking, because this, I have a hard time getting these off. Do y'all? I'm going to get me a knife to get that off. See if I can pull it up like this. There we go. There's more than one way to get something done. All right, 1/4 cup of orange juice, and this is pulp free. A 1/2 cup of sugar. Put that over here. And let's see here, my flavoring. And I put a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring in this. That's a 1/4. Well, I guess I'll just use it twice. There's a 1/4. That's a 1/2 cup. I mean, a 1/2 teaspoon of regular vanilla. A teaspoon of almond flavoring. And that's the 1/2 teaspoon. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go over there and look for another one. All right, that's a 1/2 teaspoon of, you know what? I think that's what I'm supposed to use. It was a teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon of all of it. You know, I get things on my mind and I get things mixed up sometimes. It's a 1/2 teaspoon of butter extract, almond extract, and regular vanilla. So that's a 1/2 teaspoon. So it's a 1/2 teaspoon of all of it. And I'm just going to take my whisk and just whisk it up. I've never made this cake before, But what I'm actually thinking, but I don't know if that would have worked either, because when a cake is hot, it things seems to come off, melt off of it. But it probably wouldn't hurt if it had of. If you'd have put this glaze on there while the cake was hot, it probably would have sink down in there. But I actually put a simple syrup over this cake that makes it for it to sink in. Now I'm going to pour this. I'm going to pour that in a cup so I can pour it better. I'm going to pour it in this measuring cup. I think it'd be easier to handle. You know what? That recipe, you know, I don't know why people make recipes and they don't explain everything that goes on. Because it did not say one thing about cooking this. But to me, I'm going to look at that book again. It just said mix well and spread it on there. I'm going to have to... Anyway, I'm filming. I'll call you back. Because the sugar in this looks to me like it needs to be cooked, but I'm doing just exactly what the recipe says. I wouldn't put a whole lot on here because it's going to run down. So, now when that sugar, when it gets cold, it will harden up. So, you're not going to be able to. I'm not putting all this on that cake. So, it's just a glaze. It just flavors it. I'm going to wait till that sinks in and put a little bit more on it. All right. So, that is it. That is my poppy seed cake. And I'm probably going to make one of these for us for Thanksgiving just so I can taste it. I should have done that before I made it to sell. But anyway, that orange juice, I think would make it good. And when I do my next one, I think I'm going to put this glaze on there when it comes out hot. And that it will sink in there better. And then again, it might not supposed to be because the recipe didn't say that. So, all right, let's see if y'all have, if there's anything that I need to, what if you don't like pineapple? Don't put pineapple. I'm not seeing, oh, it's snow in Michigan. Oh, my goodness. Paula, thank you. You're from Pearl, Mississippi. I know exactly where that's at. And Barbara from, not sure where you're from, Barbara. Sandra, I know where you're from. Good morning. Loretta Brewer, good morning. And thank you for my fall colors. I have several closets, and I got into my winter clothes and found this. It was from last year. Good morning, Loretta. And Carolyn. Ooh, it's 39 degrees. What time is it here? Well, now it's 50, but it was in the 30s this morning. Thank you, Lynn. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too, from North Carolina. Is this a coconut cake or a pineapple cake? It's called a coconut cake because there's no pineapple in the cake, but it's a coconut cake with pineapple filling. Now, that's how what the cake is called. So if you don't like pineapple, just don't put the pineapple in it. Y'all are having, Brenda, you having ham and turkey. You know, that's just too much food for Linda and Braden and Nathan and Chuck. It looks like it's the only ones. Carla's not sure yet what her and Scott's going to do. So I cannot cook a ham and a turkey just for us. It's just we won't eat it. It'd just be too much. So you're making broccoli and rice. I'm going to make broccoli and rice too, and I'm going to make macaroni and cheese. And Matthew said it's 36 there. That is cold. The recipe to the cake is in the video that I did yesterday. I made coconut cake yesterday. So just scroll down on Pinky Mouse Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, the same page you're on now. We have a check mark now. So scroll and scroll down, and I made that coconut cake on film yesterday. And the day before, I made the poppy seed cake. So I believe it was the day before, or was it the same day? Tuesday, Monday, one day this week. Just scroll down, and poppy seed cake recipe is on there. Patricia, where did I get that salt container? One of our followers, I can't remember who it was, sent me that wood. But I think you can get it on Amazon. Have you tried that, Patricia? People's going to learn. I'm not answering the scam calls. Sorry about that. I know that interrupts y'all. Joanne, good morning from Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. I've been there. Oh, Lord, it was bad. Linda and I, we was on a job in Philadelphia, and we traveled around there. And the year that it came, the biggest snow it had in several years previously. And matter of fact, our boss told us we didn't even have to work if we didn't want to. But we did. Linda and I went together, and I drove. Oh my goodness, icicles on the side of the road, the mountains, when the road was beside the mountain, in between the mountains, icicles hanging off this long. Of course, I know if you're up there in Pennsylvania, you know that. But I mean, it was beautiful, but it was kind of scary too. But we've had some good times traveling. Good morning, Fran and Gloria Estes, and Cynthia and Tammy. What else could you use instead of pineapple? If you don't put coconut in the cake, I mean, even if you like coconut and apple, make an apple filling, make a peach filling. If you just make a plain cake, whatever filling you want will be fine. If you don't put coconut in your cake, just make the yellow cake and put you an apple filling in between it, or cherry filling, whatever you want. If you don't like pineapple, it wouldn't be a coconut pineapple cake. It'd be a apple cake. But just make sure that's the key to it, is to get that filling thick enough that it's not going to run, and make sure that it's cold, not just lukewarm. I almost made a mistake. That was not as cold as what I like to do my icing. As soon as it sets, it's fine. But when you're trying to stack layers on top of one another, sometimes it will ooze out of the cake. A raspberry filling, that would be delicious. Yes, it would. Just whatever filling you want. As long as your cake is a good recipe for a good yellow cake, anything would go with it. Make sure that you use that simple syrup on it when it about 10 minutes after it comes out of the oven. I do need someone to handle the camera. You're correct. I'm telling you, it's got where this is a one-man show. Now, Carla, she's monitoring, and Linda and I are going to get back together as soon as possible. It was just seemed like this week she had a doctor's appointment one day, and then I've got this bazaar this week, but we're going to be back together next week. We're still handling our camera ourselves. We just, thank you, Matthew. I wish I could just sit down and talk to all of you, because all of you, we pretty near basically have the same people watching us all the time. And I could just sit down and carry on a long conversation and just have a wonderful time. But hopefully we can do that at a meet and greet one day. So if we have any new followers, we thank you so much, and hope that you enjoy our page, and be sure to go and like and follow us. We we just being ourselves, having a good time cooking. I'm going to go ahead and get off so that y'all can do y'all's thing. I've been on long enough. Now I'm going to box these all up and take them to the church. And, well, I've got some, I showed y'all the banana. It's called a hummingbird bread. It's not as sweet. It's not a hummingbird cake, but I made 2 loaves of hummingbird bread. It's kind of like a banana nut bread that's got pineapple in it. So it's going to be a good loaf. I mean, I made a little loaf, and I've eaten some of it myself, but I didn't like it as well because it's not as sweet as a hummingbird cake. So I don't even like calling it a hummingbird bread, but really that's what it is a bread. It's not as sweet. Okay, thank y'all so much for hanging in there and watching me frost these cakes. And if you want the recipe to the cakes, I got them. They're on the website. That coconut cake is in our Pinky Miles Sisters in the Kitchen cookbook, but it is also posted on the website. So, and I gave y'all the recipe whenever I was making the cake. I hope that y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Don't forget to count your blessings, and I hope that you can get some of your people together and have a nice Thanksgiving. And be careful if you're out in this weather where there's snow and ice. Please be careful. Don't get out unless you have to. Enjoy the weather wherever you are, that it's nice for you to get out. And we will be back. I will be back tomorrow in the morning before our doors open at 10:30. So somewhere around 10 o'clock in the morning, I will go around and video the inside of our fellowship hall with all of our baked goods for anyone that's around that would like to see what we have. And if you are coming to our church, it's First Pentecostal Church of Kilgore, Texas. If you're coming, you need to be in the parking lot at 10, whatever time, but doors open at 10:30 and people are lined up to come in. So come early, but you can watch me go around and show you what we have, so you can kind of mentally think about what you might want to pick up, because the food goes fast. All right. Have a blessed day. Thank y'all for joining me. See y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.